scared to give it a name. No escape from this coast, just the waves and the grind. White trash Riviera where they're losing their damn minds. Casamigos, me and two freak hoes, I hit them both like free throws, hiding what they know. Pour it down, let it flow. White trash Riviera where the truth don't show. Me and two freak hoes, I hit them both like free throws, but nobody really knows. Bottles crack, here we go. White trash Riviera stuck in the undertow. Jim Subaru's got sand grinding gears to a halt, parked outside the Airbnb where the deck's starting to rot. Ants flicking cigarette butts, breath catching in his chest. Starts to say something real, then buries it with.
Always the same, playing with the boys, playing with a couple boys, appetites and sunsets, it's just a simple ploy, I'm playing with a There it is, the theme song that we can't play because the YouTube overlords will immediately take all of my big bucks I'm making from these shows if I play the actual song. One day I'll actually look up the lyrics, but that day is not today. I'm channeling our dear departed friend Ski Mask today. I'm going to be eating my pasta fagioli, on top of Old Smoky, all covered with cheese. I lost my poor meatball to Dom DeLuise. Remember when Ski Mask used to eat on the show all the time? We're bringing it back. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Luigi's Restaurant, Stamford, Connecticut. They make a mean pasta fagioli. Oh, a pasta fagioli. Anywho, Sports Mask Collective, episode 136. By God, it's NFL Week 12. I talk about it every week. The quickest season in sports is now blasting away, well more than halfway through the season, and it's going fast. I mean, it's Thanksgiving already, and it's a late Thanksgiving at that. Lots to discuss, many things to discuss. Unbelievable what's happening out here. Year of our Lord and Savior Jesus Hieronymus Christ 2025. I did get a haircut, of course. Unbelievable. Yeah, so here we are. What's the date? November 21st, the year of our Lord and Savior, 2025. And we're still doing it. We're still doing it. A little pasta fagioli. Just need a little sustenance. A rough day yesterday. Daddy had a few drinky winkies Wednesday night and made for a rough Friday, a rough Thursday. But we're here, we're alive. So I barely ate yesterday, so that's why you know me. I usually don't eat until dinner, but I was a bit famished this morning. Ski Mask forever. Eat on air. Show your balls. Fart and something. Send a super chat. Send a Venmo. Send a PayPal. Much to discuss. Before we get to sports, as we always do, programming notes. Immediately following this, folks, for you fine patrons, and God bless all the new patrons that have jumped on in the last few weeks. Some people have a touch of class. Some people clearly have good taste. Right after this, whenever this show wraps up, I'll be going live only on the Patreon. The only way, not on YouTube, nowhere else. It'll be live on the Patreon. The second installment of Soccer Ball Stories, where I tell some tales, just a couple inside baseball things about the soccer ball clubs that is too hot for YouTube, and too, frankly, most of the plebes, the pieces of shit out there don't deserve to hear the stories. So that'll be just for our fine patrons, the Stancelites, patreon.com, Ski Mask Media. Whenever this wraps up, our little hangout behind the beaded curtain, behind the fourth wall for our patrons, for a measly half of a coffee, $3. Literally a coffee now, a large coffee at Dunkin' Donuts costs $5 with taxes, like $6. So for half, they used to say, the old line used to be, for a cup of coffee, you can support a dead child. Well, now for half of a cup of coffee, for $3, for $3 freaking dollars, you not only get almost pretty much weekly extra content, but more so than that, you're supporting a boy whose friend has died, who has no help doing these shows. His other friend, me, does every show but this show. Everyone else has left him because I refuse to not tell the truth about everything, and I will continue to do so on Patreon after this. But yeah, Wednesday night, as I do, it's my little treat to myself. I go to the best taco bar in NYC, Taqueria Gramercy. Shout out bartender Luis, who always hooks me up. I give him a marijuana cigarette, and he gives me a bunch of free drinks, and he pours half pints of tequila as shots, which always does me in. I got to take off next week. Well, it's a night before Thanksgiving anyway, so I'm probably not going to go there next week because Jesus Christ. 2 weeks ago, I lost my phone. This week, I just felt like shit. I commented, there's this dumb girl on Twitter. And I say dumb girl with love. They're all dumb, aren't they, folks? Another bite of my pasta visual, please. Excuse me. Oh, Ski Mask would love this. Ski Mask loves eating on the shows. Wish I had a little parm put on top. Still very good. Have you seen this girl on Twitter? It's a Talia. How do I even find it? Da, 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 da. I don't even know how to find it, frankly. But she got famous. She made the post sitting on the bench with her butt hanging out, and she said, "I love fall and cider season" or something. And I commented on one of her posts, "Are you cross-eyed?" You know, just for fun, because it is a lot of fun. And it's ridiculous. And she DM'd me, boys, you know, if you need a tip, I mean, the best thing, isn't it unbelievable? You be mean to girls and they'll talk to you, and you be nice to them and they don't care. It's just so simple. She DM'd me, "What are you talking about?" And I really nothing came out of it, but it was just funny to me. This girl who blew up because of a butt pic and continues to post her butt on Twitter, like many of these girls, and then they get mad when they're subjectified or judged. I mean, you can't have it all, ladies. You can't have it all. You can't post your butt in underwear on the internet and then get annoyed when you're treated like a piece of meat, because that's what you have chosen to present yourself as. That's why I respect the ones who own it. I respect the hoes who own it. Yeah, you can't have it all. You can't post your butt on social media and then also be taken seriously. It sounds pretty straightforward, but apparently women are very dumb. So that was just funny to me. Just funny to me. This girl's gotten hundreds of thousands of followers over the last 2 weeks because of her butt, and then responding to a random guy who I certainly call myself a random guy. Bring a random literally shit posting. That's my bread and butter, folks. And by the way, nothing on Twitter is real. I've never said a single real thing on Twitter ever, and it's amazing how people just pick and choose, like take things seriously. I don't care. I also, if I like something, it doesn't mean anything. Likes me, it's all nothing. This is something from way back. Me and Ski Mask used to talk about. Twitter isn't real. Nothing is real. I'm not real. I'm a phantasm, a figment of your imagination, perhaps. Jim Stansel. None of it is real. I don't mean any. I'm a bleeding heart liberal in real life. I don't mean anything. I'm gay. I'm a woman. I voted for Bernie Sanders, and I like to have sex with men. Clip it. My point is, nothing on Twitter is real. And this is a PSA for you fine folks, you Stanselites. Please don't ever get upset about anything me or anyone else has ever said on Twitter. And also pass it along to the dumb whores if you want to have fun and post your ass on Twitter and social media, please and thank you. But, you also can't be taken seriously, and you also can't get mad when you're called fat or cross-eyed. Anyhow, Stu Cluster gets the ball rolling. We haven't even started talking about sports yet, Stu. Going to Vegas tomorrow. Any bets you want me to lay? Stay tuned, Stu. Well, obviously we'll go through the bets. I'll try to think of one as we go. Because I do it live. I don't do research before the show, and I don't do research after the show. And shout out also, I actually have this on my list, so perfect segue, Stu. Shout out to Big Stu, and I wish I could remember a couple others. I don't know if I'm going to say their names. Shout out for supporting directly on Venmo and PayPal. I believe I've reached out to each of you. Not that I have to, but it is very much appreciated for a poor boy like me living in Fairfield County to cut out the YouTube middlemen. We did finally hit the goal, folks. We hit the goal on YouTube thanks to people like Stu and who's the guy who sends euros? Kafka? No. Well, Kafka too. Anywho, who cares? The point is, thank you to Stu and thank you to the others who have supported the show behind the scenes by sending money to my accountant, Venmo at DaveD23, PayPal, DDOMB5185 at Gmail. Of course, please super chat if you want to interact with the show. But also, if you just want to support an actual real show, which there are not many left, as you'll see, if you'll notice, there's no CGI background. There's no childish bullshit floating around the screen. You'll notice there's just one person here talking. There's no clips. There's no stream sniping. There's no fake drama. Only truth and sports and pure unadulterated talent that, it's very clear the haters, they hate, so many people, like I said, they'll get by with graphics and dancing and clips and stream sniping and watching other people's shows. Some people like me actually just do a real show. Which I guess is a lost art nowadays. I guess you're supposed to just put a bunch of bullshit on the screen and have 9 people on. Not me. This is a sports show, old school sports show, channeling the days of sports talk radio of Mike and the Mad Dog and Pop Joe Chevalier and Tony Page and Steve Summers and all the like. Anywho, Stu gets the ball rolling early. I remember we hit one at the buzzer last week, so send them on info. Thank you, Stu. Yes, as always, before we get too started, even though we're already done 15 minutes, if you want anything definitely read, if you want to send in your sports queries or comments, super chat it. You're welcome to bumble about in the poor people chat. I'll give that a look if anything catches my eye at some point. But and patreon.com, Ski Mask Media, as I said at the top, I'll be live on there right after this, telling a couple, nothing crazy, but a couple soccer ball stories too hot for the general public. It'll be live on patreon.com after this. $3 measly fucking dollars. That's $36 a year. That is buying 4 coffees for the office nowadays, literally. All right. What else did we have before we get into the sports? A big butt girl messaged me for calling her cross-eyed. Well, I guess we'll get into sports real quick on the baseball. I don't know if you saw it. Allegedly, the Mets and Hard Rock have agreed to, I think I saw an $88 million deal to open a Hard Rock casino right in the Citi Field area. If you don't know, Citi Field in Flushing, Queens, the area immediately surrounding Citi Field is it might as well, it's what I assume Gaza looks like if Gaza had tire shops. It's basically about 4 acres of favelas and tire shops surrounding, and it's always been like that. Finally, they're raising everything and starting anew with this rejuvenation project, which is about 3 decades overdue, but better late than never. And apparently one of those things would be a Hard Rock hotel and casino. Boy, I can't wait to suffer a brutal Mets loss. And then how many people are going to get their heart absolutely torn out by a Mets game and then go and get their whole bank account absolutely torn out? How many dreams can we make die at Mets Willets Point, folks? Well, we're going to add to it with this Hard Rock casino being built. I think it's going to be quite a show. Mouth-breathing, mongoloidal Mets fans losing everything right next to the stadium. Another spoonful of my pasta visual. Now, my grandma, who's dead, of course, please send a super chat in memory of my dead grandmother. My grandmother, always in my Italian side, always calls it pasta visual. It's spelled pasta Fagili. Fagioli. Let's see if we could pull out the correct pronunciation of pasta visual. And yes, this is in fact the show. And I don't have a producer. If I had a producer, I'd say, hey, pull up the pronunciation of that. And I don't. This is just a one-man operation now. Nobody helps. They try to cast me out, but I refuse to go. Italian pronunciation. The standard Italian name for pasta fagioli is pasta fagioli. So I don't know where my dumb grandmother got pasta visual from, but that's what we called it. Whatever. I got some amigos, me and 2 freakos. I hit them both hot over the wire. Before we get started, Stu, the Mariners just signed a deal with Satan, ESPN, to air their games next season. Disney owns everything. Yeah, it's nuts. WWE, which I still keep a casual eye on. It ebbs and flows throughout the year. You know, this time of year with all the NFL, I don't keep as much. Usually in the that dead season that we always talk about, the sports desert between the end of football and the beginning of baseball, I usually really get, and that is also what has to be the run up to WrestleMania each year. That is generally a hot time of year for WWE. But I actually watched this past week's Raw. It was live from the Garden, which is always a little extra juice. And it was actually pretty entertaining. I didn't even skip anything. Cam Scatabo was there. Andrew Schultz was there. The Giants offensive line was there. Eric Andre was there. Brandon Marshall, blah, 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 blah. But I reminded of that because, Raw, WWE will be on ESPN as well starting in the new year. That's interesting, Stu. I did not see that. Their exclusive partner, how does that work locally? Does that mean the local games will be on ESPN? Call in. Interesting. Yeah. What are you going to do? Everything's a monopoly and then you die. Listen, socialism doesn't exist without capitalism because socialism doesn't make money. So you have to start with capitalism and then socialism quickly drains it. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But thank you, Stu. Maybe I'll get paid in December too. Who knows? We got a couple weeks to get these honking bucks up. So yes, you have to buy the app, Stu says. I respect a free chat because he just sent a super chat. Interesting. Wow, what a bunch of shit. Yeah, it's really bullshit. And if you're a fan of an out of market team, they have you by the balls. It's basically $100 to buy like a season pass to watch your team's games. Maybe $100 a month, is it? Positive Azul. Nice positive Azul on this chilly fall day. Before we get to the football, still haven't got my phone back. Let's give it a track. It's a phone update. So it's been 1 week, or really 8 days now. It's been 1 week since my real phone was lost, which, what sucks for me personally is as you know, I don't trust the cloud. I refuse to buy Apple Music for $10 a month. I hard copy, download everything, mostly illegally, frankly. Shout out LimeTorrent. And so what most important to me is the music I have on there, which I do have on my computer here. But the issue is that phone that I lost was the highest hard drive phone. I think it was like 256 gigabytes because I always get the phone with the most memory because I like hard copies of everything, including my photos. So not to mention all the photos from this year, which sucks. My Italy trip, a wonderful summer we had traveling all around Rhode Island, Meads Boat, etc. So that is the real reason I want it back. Otherwise, a phone does whatever. Now, let's see. Okay, it is still there, folks. It was tracked just 2 days ago, but it continues to be tracked at 41 Clarks Hill Ave, Stamford, Connecticut. It's a dead end. It's the Spanish ghetto right behind the shittiest hotel in Stamford, if you want to look it up. Anyone who has, there you go. You see it at the end of the road there, right next to I-95. Real shithole. Again, I plead with anyone. I went to the update for those who weren't on Twitter. Also, before I moved, the other thing about that phone, which is maybe most important, is that I still have Ski Mask Media logged in there, so I can go live on the phone. I do not know the password. I told you whenever I get logged out of this stuff, that's it. I'm gonna have to start from scratch. I don't have the passwords. This computer has always been logged into StreamYard and Ski Mask Media and the YouTube. So once that all goes away, we may have to pack this bitch up. So time is fleeting. It's very exciting for you. You never know what could be the last show. But I'm also, so I'm unable to go live from my phone as I like to, which is a lot of the Patreon stuff is me out and about, like the other week with Hack Jokerson at Grand Central, which is up for members only on the YouTube. It's another way you can support. Become a YouTube member, you get some extra stuff there. Every little bit helps, and it is greatly appreciated because it's almost impossible to live nowadays, especially in Fairfield County and the New York metro area. Anywho, my point is I went to the police station this week. I went on Monday. I stopped by, just went to the info desk, told them the deal. And as I suspected, there's really not much they can do unless they know exactly the person who has it. They can't just knock on doors and say, hey, do you have this guy's phone? And all they can say is, they'll just say no. And that's that. There's no proof, of course. So, but I did inquire with the police. I did. Hold on. We got some interesting info. Hold on. Interesting email. Start a new YouTube. Start getting people to subscribe now for the future if you lose the channel. Not a bad piece of advice, AA Ron. I do have, by the way, you can, if you want to go do that, you people watching, I do have a YouTube channel technically at Stancil Gym. Please, if you're watching this, go follow that. It's not a bad idea, Aaron. But I know Ski Mask worked very hard to get those 1,000 subscribers. And let's be honest, that was during the lockdowns or everybody was watching these YouTube shows. And, Ski Mask, to his credit and us, we were the first and still really only unofficial Misery Loves Company wrap-up show. We did it via guerrilla podcasting. We were having, big comics on because they had absolutely nothing to do. The Karen Fians, the Sagalos, you name it, Scopo, they were all on the show back in the day. Anthony Cumia, Rich Voss, all prior guests on Ski Mask Collective. Unbelievable what happened out here. People forget to put some goddamn respect on our names. So not only did Ski and myself work hard to get those 1,000 subscribers, it was in that pocket of lockdowns where everyone was just watching stuff online. And now it's so saturated with all these losers and nobody's trying to do it that unfortunately, I think it'd be very hard to get to 1,000. But that said, the YouTube channel is there, youtube.com/StanselGym. Go shoot it a follow. If it's logged in, you can reset the password with your phone number, I think. You are correct, Stu. However, that account is linked to Ski Mask's phone number, which, of course, unless I don't know, was he buried with his phone? Can I go dig it up? No, obviously, this is a comedy show. Everybody calm down. I mean, just even myself logging back in when I got this, what I planned to be a temporary phone. Now it's unfortunately looking like my main phone. It was like pulling teeth, fucking logging back in anything. You had to scan it. You had to scan things with another device. It was a fucking living hell. I know the email. I just don't have access to the email. Maybe Shock can send it to Stancil. Did they bury Shira? Yeah, exactly. Put a link in the chat. What up, Steph? Do you have a butt? You want me to call you cross-eyed on Twitter and then you could scold me for it in a DM? If you missed the top of the show, that's a callback. Sure. I don't know. Does this work? Is this what you mean? That's to my Steph, another one of Stansel's beautiful girls. Yeah, I don't know if you want to go follow that YouTube channel to be safe. Listen, I'm hoping it. I don't know how often they make you change it. I can't tell you the last time. You do have a butt. Oh, yes, Steph, aren't you? Oh, okay, yes, I know you are. She's actually very hot in real life. Yeah, sneak into my DMs with the sultry pics, and I'll send you a picture of a penis or two, or maybe my balls. Yeah, the link is I just put in the chat for my YouTube channel. Technically, I think I have 5 followers. I never really used it. All right, sport. Oh, not only did I get a haircut, I got a new tattoo yesterday as I was hungover. What's really great to do when you're hungover is getting massive tattoos. Just another addition to the seascape scene we're doing on the old leg. Of course, we have the siren. I can't get in the right position. We have this is the show. I can't do it. We have the mermaid on the shin. We have the hammerhead shark mesmerized by the siren, really not a mermaid, by the skull of the siren. And now we have an electric eel on the outside of the leg, folks. Unbelievable what happens out here. That one I actually rescheduled. I've had that on the books for a long time. Anyhow, this is a sports show. On top of Old Smoky, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball to Dom DeLuise. Fantasy team check-in for me. I only do the 2 leagues because I'm not a mongoloid. One league's 26 year of. I am, just to check in, I am in 1 league, I am 5-6. Michael Penix was my quarterback. He's out. I had Aaron Rodgers for a time. He's semi-injured. I'm starting Jordan Love this week. I don't love this team. The problem with this league, this is the 26-year fantasy league, is We get too blasted during the draft. It's the one day a year we all see each other, the Friday before Labor Day. And we all, by halfway through the draft, I'm hammered and I just start picking ridiculous stuff. But that said, I am, even at 5-6, because I scored a ton of points, I am just on the outside. 6-5 at this point gets me in the playoffs. My other league now, I am an absolute monster at 8-3, putting a hurt. Here's what a 8-3. I think this is semi-interesting. Maybe here's what a 8-3 fantasy football team looks like going into week 12, folks. Jalen Hurts, Jonathan Taylor, Jalen Warren, Romeo Dubes, Puka Nacua, Dalton Schultz, who stunk last night. We'll get to that game in a second. Jerry Jeudy, Alvin Kamara, Bills defense. I have a theory. My defense in fantasy, I change every week by matchup. There's a little free pro tip. Every week I go by, you go to the free agents, you see what defense is playing a shitty team, and you sign them. It works wonders. Bills defense this week at 8 points last night. Not bad considering they got hosed. Yeah, so there you go. That's what a 8-3 fantasy team looks like in 2025. A first place 8-3. And speaking of injuries, what a year! NFL is always a war of attrition, and this year is no different. Last week, Aaron Rodgers breaks a bone in his non-throwing hand. Penix done for the year with an ACL. Dylan Gabriel out. Joe Alt the other week, the Pro Bowl lineman for the Chargers. I mean, you name it. It never ends. Bucky Irving, the running back for the Tampa. I mean, you go down the list. These injuries have been unbelievable this year in the NFL, more than before. But that is the game, and you got to roll. That's the league. That 'tis the league. Happens every year. Lamar Jackson obviously out earlier. Obviously, he's back. Yeah, so there you go. Shedeur Sanders getting the start this Sunday against the Raiders. Hey, listen, ESPN loves to talk about, they like to gobble the Sanders family cocks and balls, as many women do like to gobble cock and balls, and nothing wrong with that at all. Good for you, ladies, exercising your right to suck penises. So they're desperately, ESPN is desperately trying to make this a big deal. Listen, these are two bottom of the barrel teams, Cleveland and Vegas. I have no issues giving this kid a start. Mine as well. See what you have. Conversely, it's sounding like the Giants are going to start Jackson Dart. I think that's ridiculous. In a year you're going nowhere, you're going to throw him in this game right out of the concussion protocol. Me personally, I would just sit him for the year, not risk his health, and come back healthy with Scadaboo and him next year. But whatever, to each their own, I guess. What the hell do I know? I'm just an All-American athlete. That's all. How about another spoonful of pasta visually? Oh, a pasta visual. Remember in Ski Mask when we eat watermelons on the show and pineapple? Ski Mask forever. Anywho. Now that's broadcasting, folks. Listen, if you could watch a show with 9 boxes and stream sniping and gay graph all over, you can listen to a man suck down some pasta visual. Pasta visual. Oh, boy. All right. Let's take a look. Let's go around the league. Here from last week. And then we'll touch our dicks and make some picks. I don't have a producer. And remember, after this, live on the Patreon, Soccer Bowl Stories Ep 2, we'll get some juicy tales from the soccer ball clubs. Let's take a look at last week's scores. Before I get to that, what a mess the Bills-Texans games was last night. Texans defense lead the league in sacks and interceptions, and 8 sacks on Josh Allen last night. It felt like more than that. I mean, that line was a sieve. I believe they're missing their right tackle, but still, holy hell. That white guy on the Bills line, 73, was just getting absolutely dominated by Will Anderson all night. It was almost painful to watch. And they still had a chance in the end, which, you know, speaks volumes about the Texans' offense. But, hey, they won the game. They did what it took. But I don't think Josh Allen with an absolutely terrible interception to seal the game. Tip and then interception, but you just threw it right at the guy. I don't know. Listen, I don't have any crazy conspiracy theory. I think Josh Allen is just having a down year overall. Clearly gets sacked 8 times. The line, you know, there's not much you can do. But I don't see, you know, the Bills had that big win against the Chiefs, and everybody's all of a sudden, not me, because I'm Jim Stansel-Stradamus, and I only see truth, and I don't get caught up in, you don't get caught up with the riffraff and the crowds, because most of the crowds are wrong. But the Bills and Josh Allen, they don't have it this year. Long story short, they don't have the way. I know James Cook is good. He's not great. They don't have receivers. I mean, Khalil Shakir is your best receiver. I mean, what are we doing here? The Bills may make the playoffs. Who knows? But I don't. They just don't. Just passing the eye test. I don't see it there for the Bills. And last night was no different as they come back to earth after beating the Chiefs last week. All right, let's see. The Eagles. Oh, no, wait, this is way wrong. Hold on. The phone zone. Okay, here we go. Let's go around from last week, see what catches my eye. Yeah, we talked about it last show. Yeah, because that was a Thursday game, the Jets. Nothing of note there. The Panthers did it again last week, beating the 6-5 Panthers. And I'll eat a crow. You know I love crows, but I'll eat one. I would tell you the first few weeks of the year, Panthers may be the worst team in the league. Shame on me. They have a pretty good defense. Bryce Young has improved. I never liked Bryce Young. I still don't think he's great, but has improved. I mean, the real story there is Rico Dowdle having a Pro Bowl year for the Panthers. And they overcame the Penix got injured last week, of course, but they beat the Falcons last week 30-27. They pull it out. Why do you keep going back to week 7? Holy shit. Does anything work? Oh, God. What the fuck? Oh, I hate phones. I want my phone back. I never finished because I have ADHD. So my next step in getting my phone back, unless you people have better ideas, I'm going to print out a little piece of paper that say, hey, I continue to track my phone to this location. You can call or text, blah, 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 or drop it at any T-Mobile or AT&T store, and I'll give you a couple monies for your troubles. What do we think about that? And I'm going to print out a bunch of them. I'm going to put it on the cars. I'm going to put it on the house that's there. Yeah, that's my next step. What do we think? And then if that doesn't work, if you're on Twitter, you saw I'm getting a bullhorn, and I'm going to that neighborhood at 2 a.m. and screaming about my phone until I get it back. The Bears continue to find ways to win. Credit to them. Kelly Pismy's big-butted Bears. Yeah, they continue. What are there, 3 or 4 wins in the final minute of the game? They beat the Vikings last week 19-17 on a last-second field goal. Hey, listen, wins are wins in the NFL. Doesn't matter how you get them. Nobody goes back and cares about how you got wins. The Jags took it to the Chargers, their first meeting since the Jaguars had that massive playoff comeback against the Chargers a couple of years ago. And apparently the Jags wanted to never forget, and they come back and beat the hell out of the Chargers 35-6. Steelers took care of business against the Bengals, as we knew they would. 49ers took care of business against the Cardinals, as we knew they would. Seahawks and Rams, yes, Stu, it was the game of the week. Unfortunately, I was right. The Rams are the best team in the NFC and probably the NFL. Matt Stafford should be the head candidate for the MVP as long as he doesn't get injured. There's a bet for you, Stu, if you're going to Vegas. Matt Stafford MVP as they beat the Rams in a good game, lived up to the hype, 21-19. Very entertaining game. Same for the Chiefs and Broncos. And God, look at the Broncos. How about that? 8-2 Broncos. The Broncos and the Patriots maybe 1 seeds. I mean, they're looking at they will have home field. Who called that? Who would have called that before the season? Ravens took it to the Browns, and Lamar Jackson will be back this week. Lamar Jackson did not have a touchdown last week. Extremely rare. So God help. Who the hell are they playing this week? We'll find out in a minute. But God help whoever that is, because you know who they're playing this week? The New York Jets. Bye. So long. Fare thee well, Jets. By God. Lamar Jackson, coming off a week where he didn't have a touchdown for the first time in ever, now gets to face the New York Jets. Oh, so long. There's another bet. I guess it's too early, Stu. You want to bet on touchdowns? I'll take Lamar Jackson 3+ overall touchdowns there. Eagles held off the Lions. Eagles quietly maintaining their up higher tier level football team. And the Cowboys took it to the Raiders on Monday night last week. Okay. So there you go. That's around the league. Let's take a look at the standings. I'll tell you this. We got 10 teams in the running for 7 playoff spots in the AFC. We have 9 teams in the running for 7 playoff spots in the NFC. So we got basically, if you want to break it down, we got 6 teams for 3 spots, talking about the wild card. Sorry, my pasta fagioli. AFC East, listen, not a total done deal just yet. Patriots 9-2, Bills now 7-4. So Bills just hanging around in the outskirts of the AFC East, but hanging around enough where there's some hope there. The AFC North, as we've been saying, is a 2-team race. Steelers have 6 wins. The Ravens have 5 wins. We'll see what happens. We'll see how hampered Aaron Rodgers is, which it's not his throwing hand, but it is a broken bone, and he is 73 years old. So something to keep an eye on. It's sounding like he'll play this week, but we'll see what happens there. He may not. I think Mike Tomlin is okay starting Mason Rudolph if he has to. The AFC South, especially after last night, totally up for grabs. Well, I shouldn't say totally, but interesting. The Colts, of course, 8-2, and they have a tough game this week. The Colts play the Chiefs this week, 1:00. So that's going to be a very interesting game both ways. Can the Chiefs get back on track here and show everyone they'll be a force to reckon with? Or can the Colts do quite the same on the other side? Prove to people once again that they are a real team and not a fluke, as the 8-2 Colts will go play the 5-5 Chiefs. Jags and Texans now both with 6 wins there in the AFC South. And the AFC West, you're turning wrong. Broncos, as we just talked about, 9-2, folks. How about that? And the Chargers 7-4 behind them, and the Chiefs 5-5. So Chiefs aren't going to be winning that division this year. Chiefs are going to be a wild card team at best this year. Let's take a look at the NFC. Eagles, obviously, NFC East is, they could just end that season right now. The Eagles at 8-2, Cowboys at 4 wins. The Bears continue to find ways to win first place of the NFC North. Bears, Packers, Lions, 7-6-6. And looking ahead, huge game on Thanksgiving Day, Packers and Lions, folks. So we'll talk about that next week. Maybe I'll try to do a show early in the week next week, since we have 3 games on Thanksgiving and a game Friday. So I'll try to do sports early in the week next week, just so we can cover all these games. We'll see. And of course, in the NFC South, you got the Bucks and the Panthers with 6 wins. And the NFC West, another competitive division. Rams 8 wins, Seahawks 7 wins, Niners 7 wins. So there you go. There's around the league there. Oh, there's so much I meant to tell you, so much I can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain. Baby, your love is like a vocal dictionary. Hi-de-hoo. Yeah, kissed by a rose on a grave. Ooh, what a little halo, halo. And now that your rose is in bloom, the light hits the gloom on the grave. That, of course, is Seal's Kissed by a Rose, which I've never figured out what the hell that song is about. Is it about death? Is it about a girl he likes? I don't get it. Super chat if you know what it's about. Sports. And yeah, speaking of Thanksgiving, we're going to look at the college scores and we'll get to the picks, and we're going to get out of here at 1 hour on the dot, as all podcasts and shows should be. You do 1 or 2 shows a week for 1 hour to 1 hour and 15 minutes, and that's it. If you do a show 4 to 6 days a week for 2 to 4 hours a day, that's not a show, that's a stream. It's a lower level, a lower IQ piece of media to stream. This is a real show. Quality over quantity, a week of sports boiled down, crushed down to a diamond point of pure information and talent and laughs, folks. From the Socrates of sport, the Nostradamus of national pastime, the Aristotle of athletics, Jim Stancil Stradamus, the only all-American comedy sports podcaster on the planet. But you listen to who you want to listen to. Need some more pasta visually. I like it when it congeals. Pasta visually. Yes, listen. We've been over ad nauseum how quick the NFL season goes. And it only goes into, you could hear the space shuttle NFL engines fueling up now. They're in the final countdown when the NFL goes to maximum overdrive, starting on Thanksgiving through the holidays. You got Thursday games, you got Friday games, you got Saturday games, you got Monday games, you'll get Wednesday games around Christmas. So this is it, folks. My fellow sportsters out there, my Stancilites, and just sports fans in general. If you're an NFL fan, this is the month and a half stretch you look forward to all year, because you get wall-to-wall NFL action from Thanksgiving all through Christmas and the New Year. And it only gets crazier each year as the NFL, you know, Roger Goodell will just beg and plead for any tiny piece of money he can get. So it's coming up, folks. Starting Thanksgiving, we got 3 games. Friday, we got a game. Is there a game Saturday? Well, I don't think so. But once it gets closer to Christmas, we get those Saturday games. Remember, folks, you get even this week. You got football 4 out of 5 days next week. Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday, you have NFL action. It is the most wonderful time of the year. You got blacks throwing passes and whites kicking asses and coaches that are get cheer. Oh, it's the most wonderful time of the year. You're welcome. So it's about that time. You know what to do. A great idea, just throwing this out there so you can be free for these games, is alienate your family this Thanksgiving. Alienate all of your family and friends this coming Wednesday night, which of course is amateur hour night live down in the downtowns. I'll be working. You won't catch me down there. I'll be 40 in a few weeks. By the way, I hope everyone's putting loads of money away for my 40th birthday stream, where I'll be desperately begging for your cash. That is in a few weeks, in the second week of December. But yeah, Thanksgiving is a beautiful opportunity to alienate your friends and family, do something terrible. And that way, I only say that because that way you can be free for the next month and a half to watch all this NFL action, beautiful, beautiful sports action, which you just don't want to pass up. Fuck it. It's a weekly spot. Let's look at the college scores. I know they did the initial announcement of the college football playoffs, which is all another just money grab by ESPN, because it means nothing really. The college football playoffs don't get solidified for another couple of weeks, but they had literally a show about it the other night. So silly. All right. As always, I never looked at these beforehand. Here are the scores from college football last week. And I'll remind you, as I remind you every week, college football sucks. And why watch the minor leagues when you have the real deal on Sunday? Here we go. Oregon 42, Minnesota 13, Indiana 31, Wisconsin 7, Notre Dame 37, Pittsburgh 15. Brutal. Miami 41, NC State 7. Virginia 34, Duke 17. Why play these games? Why even bother? Hey, here's a game that should be played. Texas Tech 48, UCF 9. Ugh, why? Illinois 24, Maryland 6. It looks like a close game compared to these other ones. All right, here's a fun game that's probably fun to watch. Tennessee 42, New Mexico State 9. Ugh. Utah 55, Baylor 28. I mean, also no defense at all is played in college. It's the game. I mean, I know I like to be hyperbolic, but really, like, college gameplay just sucks. Georgia 35, Texas 10, and those are ranked teams. It's so embarrassing. Ohio State 48, UCLA 10. This is all 1 week. I'm not making this up. This is all just last week, all these blowouts. Missouri 49, Mississippi State 27, BYU 44, TCU 13. Brutal. Don't catch me dead watching college football, I'll tell you that. All right, folks. It's that time. And yes, I had to put another $20 in my DraftKings account this week because I lost my initial $25. I came up with a plan. So I told you guys I put $25 in my DraftKings a month ago. That's my first time since May betting. I lost all of that. This week I put 20 in. When I lose all of that, I think I'm going to put 15 in, and I'll keep going down by fives until either I buy a house or get to zero. Oh, I won something last night. Hold on. What did I win? I have $18.51. I was down to $10. Whoa, a big NBA parlay I hit last night, folks. Whoa, hashtag bet with Stancil. Send me some bet money, will you? Here we go. This was $1 to win $11.50. I won $11.50 last night, plus 1,051 odds. Here's what I had last night. Didn't even know this. Or was this 2 nights ago? I was drunk all day yesterday. Yeah, wait. This was yesterday. I had the Sixers minus 1.5. They won heartily over the Bucks last night. I had the Kings and Grizzlies under 234. Hit that. And in the Magic Clippers game, I had the over 218.5. Move that line. And I have Orlando money line, and that won me $11.51. So now we have $18.51 in my account. Still $1.50 less than what I put in, but it's better than nothing. Hold on, folks. We got a super chat coming in. Big Stu. Watch the juggernaut matchup. My alma mater, Washington State Cougars, going to take on the Hillbillies from James Madison. All right, we wish you well. You know what, Stu? Since you're such a fine supporter of this fine program, I'll put a couple bucks on that right now for your Cougs. And boy, do we love Cougars, folks. Love a Cougar. Is Stephanie L a Cougar? I don't know. She seems like a young lady. Very well put together, if I remember correctly. Speaking of, let me eat some Pasta Vazul before I get to the picks. Oh, yeah. This is broadcasting, folks. It's the most wonderful time of the year. We got beep, and people go stealing, and people that are queer. Oh, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Play the fucking pick music, you son of a bitch. Forgot to put my pick mask on last week. I realized after the show. It is time for the picks for week 12 of the NFL. What's on face? Anywho, here we go. We got the Patriots at the Bengals. Bengals plus 6.5. I didn't even talk about this. Thank you, Stu. By the way, as I do this, if you want any last-minute sports queries, send a super chat, and I'll get to them after. I'll give the poor people chat a look, but nothing guaranteed. Where'd it go? Hey! I didn't mention this. The Joe Burrow may be starting for the Bengals this week, folks. It's really annoying that DraftKings doesn't put the records on here. Not that it really matters, but it's just annoying and absurd. But Joe Burrow has been on the practice field all week. There's a chance he plays. That line as it is Bengals plus 6.5 at home. If he plays, that line may move. So if you're a believer in so thorough Joe Burrow, who is one of the original beautiful boys of the NFL, I mean, it's Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are my top two beautiful boys myself. But if you want to do, if you believe in Joe Burrow, I don't. Not with this Bengals team. And Jamar Chase being suspended for being an animal. Spitting in someone's face because he can't control himself as many can. These wide receivers, by the way, these head coaches need to check these wide receivers. I mean, it's getting absurd, these celebrations. The most absurd thing is, is anything more embarrassing than defensive teams running to the end zone when they get a turnover? I mean, it's so childish and embarrassing. Not even like game, it's like a second quarter fumble recovery, and you got the 11 guys going to the end zone to pose like bitches. If I was a coach, I wouldn't let that shit fly. Anywho, that's why I'm an All-American athlete. So anyway, my point is, if you believe in Joe Burrow, get this line early, as it may drop if he's announced as officially playing. As it is, it's plus 6.5. I think the Patriots win by a touchdown or more. Give me the Pats minus the 6.5 there. All right. I'm gonna bet on I'm gonna put $1. I'm gonna bet $1 on all these games. We'll see what it is. The Giants at the Lions. As I said earlier, it sounds like Jackson Dart. It sounds like they're going to play him. I don't agree with it. I don't think that changes anything. Lions are at home. Lions are rolling. The Lions at home are a very dangerous team. They're beatable on the road. Not that they're some magic team at home, but they play much better at home. Get this off my fucking screen. Give me the Giants minus the 12.5. I do think they blow out the Giants. Semi-interesting game here. Not really. We got Stu Cluster's Seattle Seahawks at the Titans. Another 12.5. Titans are getting 12.5 at home. They're begging you to take the Titans at home with a line that long. I think the Seahawks still pull it out. I don't love the 12.5, but they're such a better team than the Titans that you got to believe they're going to win by 2 touchdowns. So I'll take the Seahawks minus the 12.5 there. The Jets are at the Ravens. The Ravens minus 13.5. As I just said, Lamar Jackson coming off of one of his few games where he did not have a rushing or passing touchdown. So long, good night, fare thee well. Give me the Ravens minus 13.5. Here's a big game, folks. Big game. And who would have thought it before the season started? The Colts at the 5. The 8-2 Colts at the 5-5 Chiefs in Arrowhead. Chiefs still favored at home. Minus 3.5. It's going to be cold. It's going to be chilly willy Bobby Wally O'Malley in Arrowhead Stadium. Now, Goya Stadium or Giza. Who gives a fuck? Listen, the Colts have had some big wins. Again, they've solidified themselves as a real team to be reckoned with. This is not a knock on them. I think the Chiefs get back on track this week. I think they want to make a statement. I don't think, the Chiefs, they've been around the block, and Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes, that they don't care about what the media says, but for themselves to make a statement of we're here, we're going to go to 6-5, we're going to be in the wild card, and we're going to beat one of the best teams record-wise in the AFC. I don't love that 3 and a hook. I think it's going to be a close game. That said, I'm still taking the Chiefs minus the 3.5. Big game here, folks. The Vikings want any shot of staying relevant, but the Vikings are at the Packers. Packers minus 6.5. Packers win, Vikings cover. Give me the Vikings plus the 6.5 on the road. I haven't been overly impressed with Jordan Love and the Packers this year, even though I'm starting them in one of my fantasy teams this week because Penix is dead. Give me the Vikings plus the 6.5. Big game here. Another surprising big game with the Bears being relevant. You got the Steelers at the Bears. How injured is Aaron Rodgers? How will that offhand affect him? Will Aaron Rodgers even play? It could be Mason Rudolph. I have a feeling the Bears win this at home. Make a statement at home. I think the Steelers do need Aaron Rodgers to have a run to make the playoffs. I think they'll keep it close, but the Bears are only minus 2.5. Give me the Bears minus 2.5 at home. Let's move to the 4 o'clock window now. We got the Jags at the Cardinals. You know who quarterbacks for the Cardinals, don't ya? His name is Kyler Murray. His mother took to drink while he was in Euro, and that accounts for his wide set eyes. Long forehead, flat face, and low IQ. That's right, that's Kyler Murray. None of his fault, mind you. Hey, where the hell did it go? That said, they're playing the Jags. Jags coming off a big win. Jags minus 3. Jags win minus 3 in Arizona. A shit bowl here with the Browns and the Raiders. As I said, the only interesting here is Shedeur Sanders getting the start. Browns are getting plus 3.5. Can the Raiders finally get Jeanty moving? I don't want to hear anything about Jeanty being a bust whatsoever. You heard some rumbling. The Raiders have done absolutely nothing for this kid. He's a wonderful talent. When you're trailing every week like the Raiders have been with that retard Geno Smith, there's only so much you could do. But give me the... I'm going to take the Raiders here. Mine's a 3.5. For the love of God, let Jeanty run wild on this Cleveland team. Let's move on. Fun game here. Maybe not a big game, although it is to the Cowboys. We got the Eagles at the Cowboys. Cowboys only getting 3 at home. That line surprises me, and it surprises me so much I am taking the Eagles -3. I think they are wildly underrated here. I think this line should be a touchdown and a hook. Give me the Eagles -3. Cowboys blew their load. Great offense, not a good defense, and the Eagles have too good of an offense for that Dallas defense. Another shit bowl here. Falcons at the Saints. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Whatever. Give me the Saints -2.5. Big game here, and it's your Sunday night game, folks. So another fun Sunday night game for us. A nice way to wrap up the weekend. We got the Buccaneers at the LA Rams. Bucks getting 6.5 on the road. Looks like Bucky Irving is listed as out once again. What's his name? Tucker will get the start. He did very well in his absence last week. Got me over 30 fantasy points, 3 touchdowns. I'm taking the Bucks and the points. I'm not saying the Bucks win, but +6.5. I think Baker Mayfield and the Bucks have a tendency. They are fighters. They are scrappy. I think they'll keep it close. The question here is only, can the Bucks defense control that potent Rams offense? So I'm taking the Bucks plus the 6.5. And let's see what happens. But that's a fun Sunday night game. And then Monday night, who would have thought again, beginning of the season, first couple weeks of the year with both these teams, that this would be an interesting game. The Panthers at the 49ers, all of a sudden, heavy playoff implications for both of these teams, if you can believe it. Panthers getting 7 on the road. If you watch the show the last few years, I've never been very high on the 49ers. They are a solid team, but I never consider them a great team. They have a lot of talent and a lot of spots. I'm going to take the Panthers plus the 7, and I think the Panthers might actually win this outright on a Monday Night Football to make some noise and put themselves on the map. Now, my odds are plus 137,425. If I put $1, I'm putting $1. I'm going to put $1.51 just in case I win, because that'll give me a few more $1,000. Yeah, it gives me, putting another 51 cents gets me another $1,000. $1.51 to win $2,076. Yes! That would really help me make my year, folks. Wouldn't that be great? And place bet. We did it. We're doing it. We did it. We're done. Place. Think I'm lying? And there you go. Those are your picks for week 12 of the NFL season. And as I said, folks, about to go into nitrogen super hyper drive of the NFL, starting with Thanksgiving through the holidays. So be sure to, like I said, great opportunity Thursday to alienate your family, to be left alone, to enjoy the rest of the holiday season. That is the most wonderful time of the football year. And a reminder, as soon as this is done, I'm going live on the Patreon, Soccer Ball Stories episode 2. Tell a few tales that nothing crazy, but there's a lot of animals and freaks and losers out there. And frankly, I'm going to give the Patreon something just for you guys. So head over there as soon as we're done here. Let's take a look at the poor people chat. Thank you to the super chats. Howdy, Luke, Duke. Eugenic Stancil, I love it. Classic. Is this vintage ski mask? I don't remember Ski being so gay. Well, let me finish my positive azul. Speaking of ski mask, you know how he loved to eat on the air. Yum. That's it. Perfect timing. Oh, that hit the spot on this chilly day. Ah, la da da da. Ah, da 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 da. Wow. Folks, I did it again. I'm unbelievable. Tell people what about you see here today and what you see here every week. The last of a real show, one show a week for an hour. We're doing an hour 15. Pure quality and wonderful information, frankly. And we have a wonderful community, and it's really unbelievable what's happening out here. So enjoy, go back. You can all go back to watching people in boxes and stream sniping and talking about, Chad and Ray DeVito and Steel Toe for another fucking 9 hours today. The same shit over and over again. I don't know how anyone watches it anymore. Anywho, talk a little bit about that. Talked a little bit about it with one Mr. Tom Cassidy the other day, which that'll be on the Soccer Ball Stories on the Patreon coming up right now. Patreon.com/Ski Mask Media for measly $3 will be live. I'm just switching over as soon as we're done here. As I said, I'm going to try to do a early in the week sports mask since we have games next week on Thanksgiving and Friday. If for some reason I don't, please do enjoy this television just turned on by itself, which I don't like at all. Do enjoy Thanksgiving, and but we will be seeing you very soon. Thank you for all the support, even if you don't send money, even though you should. Appreciate you supporting the program and me. I have doing it. I've always done it for the love of the game, but a couple bucks people send along does help my poor ass out here in the greater New York area where everything is just so ridiculous priced. Anyway, what the hell am I talking about? I'll see you on the Patreon in a minute. Count all the troops, and for the love of God, bring home the bones. Enjoy the football this week, kids.
Jim Stansel and make trap with a cold wind moans. Jim's in his lesbian Subaru, outback crusted with sand. Live free or die sticker, secrets clenched in his hand. Dance buzzed, head catches moonlight on his cap to the low. Casamigos in a bottle, swipe from a bar down the road. They're holed up in this Airbnb, a shack with salt streak walls. Fire pits barely glowing, solo cups where the ash fall. Ant's voice is soft, too quiet, watching Jim by the flame. Eyes hold the truth, he won't speak, scared to give it a name. No escape from this coast.